I'm not happy where I'm at. Been frustrated, been had big goals, never had the plan to be where I'm at now in life. Now, I was always one to think the future would work itself out if I did the right things in the present. And I was just being mentally lazy. So I had my head filled with glorious purpose and thought what I was learning in public school system and what trusted authority figures and elders was telling me was leading me on the path to be able to figure things out, choose what I wanted to do, etc., etc. Unfortunately for me, that ain't how it went. And that laziness, or as we say, a pure sound L in our system, in our language, that lack of intention got me to where I'm at today. That's taking responsibility after being open to the truth and having some honesty. The one focus I have right now that is priority, other all goals, mission, vision, is getting out of the job and working the business full time. So that's every day. That's what I'm focused on. Every day I think about where I'm at and where I want to be. And I can get into the big visions. I entertain those sometimes to get me excited. However, the path of the short term is getting me out of the job by the end of this year, beginning of next year. Peace. Travis Sotawell. It's Pure Sound Daily Business. Are you happy where you at? Happy, content. Of course, happy we define as successful, lucky, and fortunate. And if you're not content with where you at right now, it's probably because you're not successful, lucky, and fortunate with where you're at. One of those three pieces is missing. You don't have enough success. You're not feeling or seeing enough luck. And you definitely ain't feeling or seeing enough fortune. And this is the first breakdown of knowing where you're at. For people that want to accomplish a lot of things, we can be habitually unhappy. It is what it is. It's a feature, not a bug. And one of the works we need to do with ourselves is taking notice of the accomplishments on the way. Paying attention to what we get. And for me, almost having a vision that will outlast me, but the vision really can't be completed in my lifetime by definition. It's because I have a vision that involves legacy. Or just legacy as something that's going to outlive me. And creating that helps me to say, well, one, I can't really know if it's going to be successful past my lifetime. And two, I can only do so much to set things up. But then to break down, what are the pieces to that concept? This is how our minds work from before we breathe air. We're getting fed and making decisions on concepts. And we're taking in information. vibration sounds while we're in utero. We're creating concepts. Even, and we could take it before that. Maybe before, in the collective consciousness. What I'm talking about doesn't really matter whichever school of thought you come from. Whether it's more nurture in nature after you've been born, or is it a before? Or is that where the spirit is kind of front loading us before we come into existence, before even our parents met? Shout outs to those who have been conceived by other means. And where are you at? And being okay with the frustrations, but not let it overcome you. Not let it stop your joy. Remember, because joy is a passion, a desire, is the emotional piece. And happiness, again, is defined as success, luck, and fortune. So don't let it stop your joy while in pursuit of the goal, while in pursuit of where you want to be. So where are you at? And where do you want to be? Personally, business, are you happy where you at? If you want to be somewhere, then again, naturally you want to improve something. Take something to another level. Correct something that is incorrect or isn't where you quite want it in the present state. So is it some personal goals you have or some business goals? Now I say all goals, all focus, all thoughts of change are huge. So there are no big goals, small goals. There's a scale and scope. Two different goals. But for instance, maybe you have family goals. Just having a family that you were raised in poverty mindset, poverty material, and you want to level that up. I want to take your family out of the poverty mindset and out of the material poverty. That's huge. It's a huge goal, huge vision. And maybe you want to take your family from you're just doing all right and you really want to level up. Gain affluence, gain influence. Maybe it was you were the first, your family was okay, it was good, solid financially, never went to sleep hungry, good times, good memories. That maybe we go back to maybe a poverty mindset. Or maybe even not. But you were the first to level up your game, whether going to college, and now you want that to be the standard. It's really what we're talking about here. Want to set a new standard. Some of the biggest dreams, some of the biggest goals, the biggest missions people have. Setting a new standard for themselves and the people around them. You got frustrated with the business or your career. Where do you want to be? You want to be able to sell the business, get a big payoff, another chapter to your life. You're frustrated because where the business at right now, it isn't sellable. Either isn't profitable enough or it isn't organized enough. You got to hustle, not a business. So that's where you want to be. That's where you're at now. You want to level up. You're frustrated where it's at. And that's another piece. Maybe you just want to level up. You just starting out. I got my hand raised right now. Just starting out. Your main focus is to level the business up to where it can support you and your family. The selling of it, that's some down the road stuff. It's just like, let's right now, right here, let's build this thing up. to where this is what I do day in, day out. So that's a first step goal. Take a moment to breathe, celebrate, and then, we get back to it, moving forward. Motivations. What are the motivations for where you want to be? Why you're frustrated where you're at? Why you want to move to where you want to be? Why do you want to do what you want to do? This taps into your story, your experience, your values, your vision. So we specialize in with our pure sound method. I got big vision and strong values. One thing I was a little hesitant to tap into, but I realize it's been a common theme throughout my life is having something to prove and having a chip on my shoulder. And it has caused harm to myself. It can lead into self-destructive behavior. Definitely. That's why I was hesitant. But again, looking back and saying, okay, this is just an energy I have, an emotion I have, if you will. An emotional concept I have within myself. I can tap into healthy anger that pushes me forward. And how do I, as a mature adult, use that motivation? Because it's there, it's been there, and it has helped me before. One of the clearest examples that I know it helped me was just in getting sober. And I remember walking into a room, 12-step room, and just thinking, I'm not going to let these cats beat me. I'm not going to let, and I'm not saying this being cute. This is Lincoln, Nebraska. I'm not saying this being cute. I'm not letting these rednecks, these racists, these white supremacists, these criminals, and the good people, I ain't letting them either. But it was mainly the ones I was looking at that I'm like, there are some riffraff up in here. And I'm not letting these fools beat me. There's some riffraff that got a lot of years of sobriety. I'm not going to let them beat me. I'm not going to let them be better than me. I'm not going to let some people that have, honest to them, done some bad things that have leveled themselves up. But this is where we get into those that are honorable, that have leveled themselves up, took responsibility for their mistakes, corrected their life, and they're on the right path of success, of achievement, of joy and happiness. A lot of people been to darker places than me. That's when I turned it the other way. I said, I'm not going to let me stop me from getting those jewels, getting those joys, getting that happiness. I've seen people that were worse off than me. Now they doing big things. Well, then I can do big things. And as I said, and I had the other side of the coin where I'm like, I'm not letting these riffraff, I'm not letting these lower self representations, I'm not letting them be better than me either. They're not an example, but they are a motivation. So I used to say, people need to show you what not to do, or people going to show you what to do. So that's where we need a guide. You are the hero. We're here to walk you through the other side to your breakthrough. So are you happy where you at? Hopefully not, because that's going to push you to where you want to be. So where you at right now? What are you frustrated with? What needs correcting? What do you want to level up? What are your motivations behind that? You got a big push or a strong pull to get to where you want to be. It's Travis Soda Wells, Pure Sound Daily Business. Peace.